Hey everybody.
Some
My name is Kevin O'Leary. I am the Assistant Library Director at Elting Memorial Library in New Paltz, New York.
beans if you'd like to pass
This
this.
is my coworker Isaac Murphy. He's the Assistant Programmer at Elting Memorial Library, and we're here to talk to you about zines. So, first of all, does everybody know what a zine is? All right, so we're gonna get into that in just a moment. Here we go. So, let's actually go back over here. Sorry, no, you're good. All right, so first of all, what's a zine? Zine is short for magazine or fanzine, is a limited circulation, self-published work of original or curated text and images, usually reproduced via a copy machine. So it's a very DIY sort of activity. There's a relatively low barrier to entry. Doesn't require a lot of specific materials. Zines can either be the product of an individual or a group and are traditionally photocopied. Historically, zines have been used to shine a light on less mainstream issues that still deserve our attention. Lots of zines are made by members of marginalized communities in order to make their voices heard. Zines often discuss stigmatized issues as well that are often overlooked or just ignored in mainstream media.
All right, so a little more zine history for you. So, underrepresented and marginalized groups has always used small publications, such as leaflets or pamphlets, to get their point across since this technology has been widely available for some time. The amateur press movement of the 18th and 19th centuries allowed people to really begin self-publishing their own publications. And this blended with early science fiction fanzines and black literary magazines created during the Harlem Renaissance to give birth to what we know today as zines.
All right, so long story short, zines are good for all communities, including libraries. So one thing that we found is zines are an incredible way to bring in members of the community who would not normally think to go to the library or find themselves at the library all the time. Um, we spoke earlier about how difficult it is to attract teens to the library. This is a great way to do that. We'll get into in a minute some programming we did. Sorry, first let's talk some more about zines, what they look like.
Yeah, so zines can really look like anything you want it to, so there's no need to limit your imagination. And if you're curious, here's some examples. We have a whole bunch
So
to
I'm gonna
choose out
start
as
passing out a
well.
bunch as well.
So they're all very different. I mean, there's a lot that are either like original work, collage,
Here, start spreading them out.
and lots of other good stuff. And because there's so many different people involved, there is quite a variety just in our collection since we started it over the summer. So Kevin is currently passing out some zines that we have catalogs that are all either
Thank you.
donated or from like local artists in the area.
So that was a big part of getting the collection started was putting out a call for the community. We wanted people to give us their zines, obviously. In addition to that, we started with a good little stockpile. We've found local resources. Staff went to the Kingston Comic Expo. We purchased some from hyper local artists. So it's a great way to involve your community.
I also think a big like draw was telling people they can get their work cataloged because it feels very official. Other people can see it's a good way to like kind of get their own work out there, however they like whether they're like more professional artists or anything. It's really pretty cool.
As you'll see from the zines that we're passing around, there's a huge variance in like art. Isaac is saying the not the quality, but the intent of them as well. There's people who make art every day, and that's what they do for a living, and they're making a zine and they're giving it to us. Or there's a 6-year-old who came to one of our programs and made a zine about his cat. And so just the dichotomy there, the range that you have is amazing to see.
All right, so what do you need to make your very own zine library? So ours was started by, like Kevin was saying, purchasing zines from local creators to get like the base started. Then we announced right after that that we'd be accepting donations. And kind of the good thing about having like that starter is that people could come in and see like what are some examples, especially if they've never made a zine before, like what kind of stuff they would like to make, and a little bit of inspiration. So where can you get zines from your local creators? Like we were talking about, promote that we're accepting donations. We put flyers like in a lot of different places across New Paltz. So a lot of the contributors are here are teens and young adults. So you might find it beneficial to promote your collection on social media, where
Mhm.
that's where a lot of the younger patrons will see it.
Mhm.
We distributed flyers. A lot of like local businesses were very happy to like put them up, distribute them. We make like these little tiny quarter flyers that people can just come and take, which we also dropped off at a lot of businesses. Um, Again, you can check out local artist events. We went to the Kingston Independent Comic Expo and we met a lot of zine makers and artists. We purchased quite a few, but a lot of people, once they found out we were from the library, were very eager to just donate them, which was very kind. And we also recommend hosting programs. We host monthly zine workshops and trading programs, and they've been pretty popular. And that's across all age groups. Like Kevin was saying, we have little kids making zines up to like older people. It's been very good. All right, next up.
All right. So we're going to get into talking about the benefits of a zine library a little bit. Um, so because zines are an interpretive art form, the submissions that Elting Library has received are greatly varied in both content and style, like we talked about. As you can see, as those are going around, there's a lot of different stuff in there, talking about a lot of different issues as well. So this allows community members to contribute a voice to the library. Um, Obviously, this is valuable. We want community members to feel buy-in to their library. And what better way than to have literally have their voice, their artistic voice in the collection, therefore heard by the larger community. Making zines is very accessible. Most people either have the materials they need at home or, like Isaac said, we have monthly programs where we put all the materials out, let people go crazy. Um, so yeah, patrons want to contribute their voices to the community. Again, it allows your collection to really represent the diversity of your community and that range of voices.
All right. So engagement, how can you get your library involved in you, or how can you get your library involved in your new zine collection? This is what we did. Again, our zine swap and workshop. We hold monthly programs so patrons of all ages can get involved. This really establishes a strong sense of community and a creative environment, which that's like a pretty big draw for a lot of like creative people. These programs have been pretty successful and have had lots of attendees. A lot of the same people will come back. And this program has been most popular with patrons in their late teens and early 20s, but young children and older adults have participated as well.
Oh, I just want to go
Oh,
back.
sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you're good. So just from the photos here, you can see kind of how we set up our programming space, protect the tables, and then we just kind of have art supplies out. We use a lot of our old magazines, newspapers that are being discarded for collaging, things like that. So we are reusing materials. Initially, we had to purchase, just a first stock of art supplies, but that's kind of just been self-contained and has kept going. So that's worked well.
All right, so this is our big thing, our 1 week zine challenge. So we and SUNY New Paltz are collaborating on a program coming up very soon, next week actually. So this incorporates both the library and college's community, as well as double the amount of sorry. This incorporates both the library and college's communities, as well as doubles the amount of promotion necessary to ensure a good turnout. So we're partnering with them to hold this collaborative program. This is an event that will start on the 17th, next Friday, and last until the 25th. The kickoff will take place at SUNY New Paltz's Sojourner Truth Library, and all participants will receive a zine making kit, which includes materials as well as coupons to local businesses. We wanted to involve other parts of the local community and like we got some pretty exciting contributions. The participants will have 1 week to turn in their zines, and from there, the zines will be cataloged and added to the collection. They'll also get free copies, which is pretty exciting. We do that at the other programs as well.
Yeah, that's important that even if the artist doesn't want their art in the collection, we give them at least 10 copies of their zine. So they have that, and then they can distribute that as they see fit, even if they don't want it to go into the collection. This upcoming programming that we're working on right now, this is really the culmination of the whole thing. We started the zine library last year. We've done a lot of local programming at our library, and now we're reaching across to the SUNY campus. So we're really trying to draw that whole New Paltz community together. We're very excited. We're nervous. It's coming up next week. It's going to be a big deal. I have some flyers for that if anyone wants to take a look.
Yeah, we've already got some people registered, which is very exciting.
But this also gives you an idea of just the way that we promote all of our zine content as well. It's very fun. It's very bright. A lot of this is done by Isaac, who's an incredible artist.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. So we're very lucky to have him as well.
All right, next up. Oh, does anybody have any questions?
So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'd like to open it up to questions if anyone has any. And we do need those zines back. Those are part of the library collection.
But the ones I handed out in the beginning, you can totally hang on to. The one that says like Zine Library with a little pen on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catalog.
Sure. So the question is, how did we catalog the zines? It all started, I finished my library school last summer. So it all kind of came together. It was part of my final project, was cataloging all of these zines. It worked out great because I had just taken a cataloging class and it was all very fresh in my mind. Now it would be more difficult. So that was probably the hardest, the bulk of the work was cataloging the items. It was very important to me that I reached out to each artist and asked them how they wanted their information presented, what pronouns they're using. A lot of this stuff is very personal to people. So it was very important that this is coming across to the larger public on their terms. That was very important to me.
Yeah, we make sure to jot down like full name, title to make sure like we have everything all set, and their phone number. But yeah,
Contact info is always important.
Yeah, just in case.
Sorry, you had a question? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry, go ahead. Hmm. Yes.
What's the overall survival rate?
So the question was, like the survival rate of the zines, how do we keep them from like getting damaged? Well, we don't like put them in any boxes to send to other libraries. It's all for like local checkout, and we ask that they get returned here. So that kind of helps like stop the risk of them getting damaged by being transferred.
Yeah, like Isaac's saying, they only locally circulate currently. Once we expand that, which is the plan, there's going to be more materials required. There's going to be some sort of protective envelope, case, something like that they'll have to be placed into before circulating into the larger system. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year that stuff is circulating. Like we're saying, we have this big event coming up, and we're hoping that gives us a little momentum to keep expanding it, keep growing it, more submissions, all that stuff. Yeah.
We get
the other library that wants to publicize, like.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also usually get quite a few donations at the monthly like workshop programs where they might either like bring one in that they've been working on from home, or if they finish one there, we make free copies, and a lot of the time people are interested in donating them. Any other questions?
No, all right.
All right.
That's all we got for you today. Thank you, everybody.